Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm Brian Martin.
I'm Jennifer Martin, and I'm Joanna Odabashian.
Hey. And this is
The perfect family.
That's right. This is our Real Estate Love Facebook Live broadcast, which will also be posted on YouTube a little bit later on today, so you can catch us there as well. And today, we're going to continue our conversation. Jennifer and I have been talking about the Real Estate Love, and specifically, we've been talking about the model, the home model. And so we're really fortunate because we're in Los Angeles today at the Wormen Up event. It's being held right in downtown Los Angeles, and Joanna is here with us.
Thanks for having me. You're here. Yeah.
Talk about home. We were having a conversation at breakfast today about our home on Crystal Avenue. Some of you might remember us having a little house on Crystal Avenue and how much life was lived there. Remember that?
I remember that.
There was a lot of life there.
A lot of life. There was. We were just talking about all the things that happened, all the family things, sitting down on the couch and playing in the backyard, and how important home is.
The mulberry trees and the lilac bushes and cutting roses and all of the neighbor kids. There's lots of great memories of that house.
Peaches and apricots.
Yeah.
We had two of the best trees there.
So Jennifer and I have decided to do this video blog because it's our desire to help realtors, especially, and all of our affiliates, to cope with the stress of our business and to share with them some of the great ideas that we've accumulated over the years. In fact, Jennifer and I have a workshop that we present called Real Estate Love, and we use that information here to help our friends and agents and affiliates.
I have to tell you, I got to experience firsthand the power of your model the other day when Jennifer and I got to have a one-on-one meeting with an agent from our office who's going through an extremely tough time in life. And it was really cool because Jennifer immediately busted out a napkin, and on that napkin drew the model and explained to him what was happening in his life. And he sat back and he said, wow, this helps so much and it makes perfect sense. And so it was really neat. I just got to be a fly on the wall. He actually had his baby with him, and so I got to hold his baby while she had this amazing encounter, and it was really neat.
It is a neat model. And last night, Jennifer and Joanna are on a panel, and they'll be speaking at this event tomorrow. And so last night they had a special dinner for all of the presenters. And what was amazing to me was the struggle. You hear all the struggle that people go through?
Oh my goodness, yeah. There's not a person that doesn't experience struggle.
And here we have some of the most high-producing, high-functioning realtors in the entire industry gathered in a small room. What were there 36?
I believe so. There were 5 tables, and each table had 6 to 8 people at a table.
Right. And so we had this small group, high-functioning individuals, and they all spoke for just a few minutes about what was going on in their lives. And to hear the struggles at home and in the office, and people having to start over in business again.
I heard start over. I heard family struggles. I heard death. I heard divorce. I heard sabotage. All sorts of things like that. And that was really interesting.
And we're talking about new agents and veteran agents,
no,
brokers.
Most of these were all veteran agents.
High visibility in their part of the world.
Yeah.
Right.
So the reason I mention that is because there is so much stress going on, and what we talk about is how to mediate, how to manage, or how to control. Control is my big word. Control your life. So that's what we want to share with you today. A little bit more is how you can control it.
All right, go for it.
So in our model last week I presented. Oh, I think I've got my my cheat sheet. Yeah, I do. Okay. So Joanna, this is what I showed them.
Okay.
Last week. That's the model.
Sorry, Mom.
And I was like that. So that's the model. And what we're going to, those are the pressures, the money, the family of origin, the health, and the culture. And it's the love that keeps the ball balancing, keeps everything balancing. And, you know, what I discovered is that this is not a psychotherapeutic model. You know, a therapeutic model presupposes that there's something wrong. Because in the medical model, you're looking for a problem. You're looking for disease, and you're trying to diagnose the problem and try to cure it. And so that presupposes there's something wrong, right?
Right. I think also that you're looking for the moment that the wound happened.
Right. Okay. Good. Going back and what happened then, and how do you fix it back then so it's better now? So our model it's what I call human, and it's really related in the history of humanity, and it's how people have survived and thrived. So we're not looking for what's wrong with you. What we're identifying is your strengths, your gifts, your skills, your talents, and your tools, and how you use those to overcome all the obstacles like what we heard last night.
Right. And I think a lot of these people used perseverance, they used hard work, and they most definitely utilized relationships,
the community,
and the community.
Right. So in the model, the pressure that you feel and the pressure that we feel is what happens at home, and it's the pressure at home, how people deal with that. And of course, it's the love that helps to
keep that sphere balanced on the pendulum.
Balancing.
Okay.
Right. And so we are going to talk about love, and love is an acronym.
Right.
Right. So the L in love stands for
little things.
That's right.
Perfect.
Yes.
You got it.
Yep.
All right.
We've taught you well.
That's right. I've grown up with this model.
And the O stands for?
Well, oxytocin.
That's right. It's
That's
oxytocin.
Right.
And why oxytocin?
Well, because it is a chemical that's released in your brain when there's a lot of love.
That's right. And you get that love by the connection, by actually physically connecting to people. That hormone is released in your body. And this is how you get your emotional connection. So one of the things that's threatened under stress is your emotional connection with your loved ones.
Absolutely.
Because the wall of protection goes up, right?
Yeah, well, in my case, I stopped talking.
Right, okay.
Yes, and we
That's
talked
right. That's your wall going up.
last week how there becomes a bigger separation.
There's a bigger separation. So that emotional disconnect is really uncomfortable and very, very painful. I was watching a Tony Robbins video the other day.
Yeah.
And Tony Robbins was at one of his events, and he was interviewing this man who was having a really difficult time in his relationship. You can find this on YouTube, and it's actually part of a promo video that he uses. But what he does, he goes and Tony kind of diagnoses what's going on with him. And what's really clear to me is that what's happened is that the wall of protection has gone up so high between him and his wife that they feel alienated, and they don't even trust each other. They don't feel safe with each other anymore. And that's real clear that that's what happens when there's so much stress. People throw up their wall of protection, and it's the love that brings it down. And so the O stands for oxytocin, which is the emotional connection. You have to have an emotional connection to have a successful relationship.
So how do you have an emotional connection when you don't feel like it?
Okay.
Or you don't feel like talking. So in my case, when I get quiet, it's not necessarily that I don't want to talk. It's that I'm trying to figure everything out in my own head.
All right, let's go back there in just a minute.
Okay.
Because the V stands for problem solving. It's victory.
Right.
V stands for victory, and victory is problem solving, dealing with the problems. And the E stands for eternity, and that's the spiritual part. It's where you find significance and meaning.
Okay.
All right. So your question was, how do you get that connection again?
Yeah.
All right. So it's with love, and principally the most dynamic and the most active part of love is the L part. It's the little things.
Okay.
All right. So with the little things, you have to do the little things to yourself and to the other.
I see.
And when you do that, you help create safety again. Because
Okay.
what happens when there's an emotional disconnect? It's like, I don't trust you. I can't trust you because I'm busy protecting myself and taking care of myself. So what you have to do is you have to get back to the place where you can control your thoughts.
Okay.
And so that's going to take you some time, because if you're upset, you probably release some chemicals and some hormones in your mind that are going to hold you back.
Well, I think also with thoughts, oftentimes you ruminate on a positive thought about, or stay in curiosity even about what is actually happening, because you're so caught up in that rumination.
And so what's happening in your brain is that your brain is secreting epinephrine or adrenaline.
Uh-huh.
And when that goes on, you get into your fight and your flee mode, or your freeze mode, and you can't do anything.
Okay.
And it takes your body a while to assimilate those negative chemicals to where you can get back down to a normal place where you can communicate again.
Got it.
All right. So you know how you can tell when you're normalized?
I guess maybe your blood pressure's down if you've excited yourself. I don't know though. Other than that,
that's a really good guess.
Okay.
It's your pulse rate.
Oh.
Because what the epinephrine does, what the adrenaline does, is it speeds up your pulse rate. It can go up to as high as 120, 140, 150, 160 beats a minute.
Wow.
So you can take your pulse and you can actually find out where you are. And once your pulse rate is down to about 70, then you've been able to assimilate the chemicals.
You're reasonable.
And you're reasonable.
Okay.
And you're reasonable again.
So
All right.
you've taken control of your thoughts.
You take control of your thoughts. And you take control of your body also. Because your body is got the chemicals running around.
Okay.
So you've got to do things. So that's when you breathe. Breathing is really an amazing thing to do. So you've got to breathe and work through all that chemicals.
You know, Bryan, one of the things that we did in our relationship was that we also learned how during that heightened moment to give each other safety. And so I remember there would be times where you would say, I can't talk about this right now. You wouldn't leave it there though, because that to me felt like absolute rejection and pushing it away. But you'd say, I can't talk about this right now. Give me 2 hours and we can come back and address this.
I remember as a kid, you asking us, well, how long do you want to be mad about this? Or how long are you going to be upset with that? And it always made me laugh when you would ask that question, because I thought to myself, well, if I can control how long I want to be mad about it, why in the world would I want to waste time being mad about it?
Yeah, it was a good little trick.
Good little trick. I guess it could work in lots of situations.
Sometimes we even shared your mad moments.
Oh,
with
yeah,
you.
that's right. Yeah. Would you like me to be mad with you for 2 minutes?
Well, let me ask you this. Do you know what you can do to help another person calm down?
Well, you could give them space, like she mentioned. You could breathe with them. Or you could just listen to them.
Yeah. There are three kinds of little things.
Okay.
There are kind thoughts. They're all kindness.
Okay.
And speaking of thoughts, everybody needs to come to grips with the fact that they can control their thoughts and they can control their emotions.
I believe that, and choices.
Thoughts and emotions and feelings are the big ones.
Okay.
And because those are all brain activities, and they have profound ramifications. And so you can control your thoughts, and you can control your feelings, and you can control your emotions. The other thing that's important about is that you have when you're thinking kind thoughts, you're thinking kind thoughts about the other person.
Right.
So if the other person's wall of protection goes up, we know the wall of protection is a natural, God-given device that's used to protect us and to keep us safe. And so if a wall of protection goes up, then we have to say to ourselves and to the other people, wow, their wall of protection is up. That's really cool. That person is protecting themselves, and I need to let them do that. I need to honor their wall of protection. And so that is a good, kind thought. Get that?
It's just it's a different spin on how most people would approach it.
That's right. It is a different spin because it's a different way of thinking about it.
Right.
It's a system 2 way of thinking about it. Instead of reacting to the person and saying, "You're wrong. You can't do that. Stop it. Get out of this. Get control of yourself." What we're doing
Don't cut me off.
Don't cut me off. What we're doing is we're saying, this person is a human being and they are fully capable of managing their lives. So we're saying there's nothing wrong with them. This is a normal human response. That's what I'm talking about. Human, natural, not disease. It's a normal human response. So, and they are fully capable. And so they are, we're going to let them have the wall of protection. And what we're going to do is that we're going to think good thoughts about them.
Okay.
And we're going to think good thoughts about ourselves too. Because you know what? This is not urgent. Whatever the problem is, it's usually not urgent. 90% of the time, what we're troubled about, what we're dealing with, is not urgent. We can think about this. We can work this through. And so that's what I'm thinking about myself. Okay, well, this is not an urgent situation. I don't need the satisfaction of getting this resolved this very minute.
Got it.
So you're willing to delay gratification.
So I'm going to delay gratification, and that's my thought. I'm going to be kind to myself by delaying gratification of having to get this done right now. And so I'm going to be I'm going to have kind thoughts about myself. I'm capable. I can deal with this.
Right.
I am in control of my life. I don't need to get this resolved at this particular moment. It's okay for them to have their wall up, and I'm okay, and they're okay. And so that's okay. That's kind thoughts.
Okay.
So the next one is kind words. And kind words are just incredibly powerful. I have a thing about words. I think words are just amazing. And what you can do with words are soothing and healing and restoring and life-giving and edifying. So let me ask you, what are some words that you might say to somebody whose wall of protection is up?
One of the things you oftentimes say to me is, "I never think a bad thought about you."
Those are good words too. Yeah.
Or even I'll give you time.
I'll give you time. Yeah. Those are good.
Well, you can always reassure them, and you can also remind them that you love them.
You could say that. Yeah.
Even though you're going through a tough time, usually doesn't mean that you don't love them.
Yes. Do you know what I believe to be the most powerful words? Thank you. Words of gratitude are some of the most powerful things.
How would you use thank you with somebody whose wall was up?
Well, you could say, I'm just really thankful to have a relationship with you, and I value you as a person, and I recognize that you're totally and completely capable of dealing with anything that comes our way. And I want you to know that I support you and I encourage you and I love you.
I think that would help my wall to stop coming, or I think that would help my wall to start to come down.
Sure.
Or from going higher.
Right. Right.
So you have kind thoughts,
Okay.
kind words, and you can use kind words. Even when the wall is not up, you need to be kind.
Well, I believe in that. That's one
kindness
thing
is huge.
that I want to be known for is kindness.
Yeah, kindness is probably one of the most important human virtues, is being kind.
I believe that.
And I'm constantly amazed how people are kind. It's just amazing to me. In every situation, people are kind. It just blows me away. I see kindness everywhere, and it feels so good to me. Kind thoughts, kind words, and the last one is kind actions. Kind actions.
Okay.
So what are kind actions?
Well,
We're talking about little things now.
Sure, kind actions. Could be just the act of giving someone space and time.
It's a kind act, yes.
It could be leaving a little note.
Yes, notes are very, very powerful little things.
Some flowers.
Flowers are good too.
I like flowers.
Now, these are kind things you can do anytime, not just when a person's wall is up. But what are some of the the basic fundamental kind things that we can do.
Well, you can smile at someone.
Smiling is huge.
Yeah, that is huge. Then you can give a compliment. I love to compliment people.
Yeah.
I think that people don't hear nice things about themselves enough, and you can hug them.
Right.
So today after breakfast, as we left the restaurant, did you hear the Albert? He
called you by your name.
He called you by your name.
Yes, I
The
did.
host at the restaurant. He said,
"Thank you, Mr. Martin. Have a great
good
day."
morning. Yeah.
So I stopped and I went back and I said to him, "Thank you. You do a wonderful job." And he said, "Well, thank you. And why?" And I said, "You take the time to know people's names, and that's so special."
So another thing I noticed when we were checking in yesterday, did you notice how the gentleman behind the counter, when he handed us our room key, he handed it to us with two hands and didn't like set it down, but he waited for us to take it even if we were putting our driver's license or our cards back in. It was just classy.
Over the top
Over the
customer service.
Yeah.
And a kind act.
And kind act too. Yeah.
Didn't make you feel rushed or pressured even though there was a line of people behind you.
Kindness is just really amazing. Those were all kind acts.
Yeah.
And they had to think about it, so they had a kind thought, and they'd express kind words. Let's go back to a smile for just a minute.
Okay.
How powerful a smile is, because we all have this incredible ability to do facial recognition. Have you ever played facial recognition games?
No, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, you're somewhere, and let's say you're at Lowe's.
Okay.
So and all of a sudden you look across the room, and boom, there's a trigger in your mind. Ah, I think that's so and so. How does that happen?
Well, that's a really good question, because if that's the case, then I have facial recognition from people from a long time ago that I shouldn't remember, and I do.
It's in there. It's part of your brain,
Yeah.
and we have this incredible ability to recognize people, and not only who they are, but we can recognize their state that they're in at any particular time.
Yes.
So when you look at somebody, you automatically pick up all of this information from them. It's phenomenal.
Do you remember how we would play that game with the children?
Yes, I
When
do.
our four kids
Remember
were
this,
little,
Joanna?
we would be at a restaurant or sometimes even just driving down the street,
Uh-huh.
and we would say, "Okay, look at the people next to us and tell us what they're feeling." And we would have our kids.
We
look
actually did this in the family.
Well, I did it yesterday, and do you remember? I did it yesterday as we got off the freeway here in LA. There's that guy sitting next to me in the Prius, and I said he had a good day at work. And you could
Yes.
tell because he was sitting in his car all by himself, and he was just kind of gazing out the front window, and he was thinking, and he had a smile on his face, and he looked relaxed. And I didn't know this guy, but everything I could see through him, through the car window, told me that he had a great day at work and he was happy inside.
All right, everybody does that. Everybody attends to other people, and they look around. And that's why, they say in Japan, when you get on the subway in Japan, nobody pays attention to anybody. They have to work to not pay attention to people, because our natural impulse is to actually check people out and find out what's going on with them.
Well, I think that's also part of our way of being safe.
It
Is that we check people out to make sure,
they're
that,
safe.
or
Right.
that we're safe.
Right. Right. So
Yes.
if you're looking at it and you get a grimace from somebody, that person is not safe.
Right.
So one of the best things that
I don't
we
like
can
it when
do.
people growl at me.
Yeah, I know. One of the best things that we can do, one of the kindest acts that we can do, is to smile at people and to share with them a genuine smile on their face. And you know what? A lot of people, they can't tell a disgenuous from a genuine smile, because a smile is a smile. And so first thing that they see is the smile, and most people don't go any further to look further into the eyes or to try to get into the heart and the mind of the soul of a person. But the smile is the most prominent feature they see, and the smile does something to them on the inside.
Well, you know what a smile does, or this is what I tell agents anyway, is that when you smile at your client, they immediately think, "Oh, he likes me," or "Oh, she likes me." But if you don't smile, then it becomes about them, and they're standing there thinking, "Does this person like me?" They're not smiling at me, and their thoughts go inward instead of being able to.
They start to protect themselves.
That's right.
Because they're uncertain.
That's right.
Or they make judgments about the person.
Or they make judgments about
they must be
themselves. What's wrong with
grouchy,
me? Why? What did I do wrong? So yeah, that's all that activity goes on, and a smile fixes it all.
Okay.
The smile is the most fundamental human response that we can give to somebody to assure them that we think good thoughts about them,
Right.
that we want the best to happen for them, that we care about them. And so we're talking about what we can do when the wall of protection goes up. We have the kind thoughts, the kind words, and the kind actions.
So you would
The
add a smile.
is the fundamental kind act that we can do to people to make them feel better and make them feel safe, that allows them to lower the wall when they need to.
Well, and if that smile goes with what you said, I don't thought about you. I know you're capable of. I know we're capable of working through this.
A smile says all of that.
Added with those words, it really makes a strong statement then.
Right. So that's kind of amazing.
It's amazing.
So, you know who the best smiler that I know of is in the whole world?
No.
Your mother.
You think?
No, I absolutely know it.
Oh.
Yeah. Because
Did you pay him? I did. I thought it was going to be you. I think you're the best.
You have a beautiful smile.
Thank you, but not the best.
But whenever I greet your mother in whatever state I find myself in at a particular moment, she always smiles at me. And when she does, I recognize it, and it does something to me. It's very, very powerful. So I want to encourage you also to, when the wall is up, at any time when you're interacting with people, if you smile at them, then it's going to be really, really great for you. Oh, yeah. Hello. Thank you. So that was an interesting interruption. So anyway, I smiled though. That was a great opportunity. So that's where we're going to be leaving off today. And we talked about that's love that helps people to lower the wall of protection when they're ready. And it's love that keeps the spin going on in the world. And love is really the most important thing.
And the L in love stands for little things, and a smile is a little thing.
That's right.
Good morning, Julia.
All right.
So we're going to stop there today, and we'll pick up more later on. Let me just point out that there are 8 elements to this presentation. The first is we had the money part that was putting the pressure on the circle.
Right.
The next was the community or the family of origin that was putting. That's one conversation that we can have. The family of origin is another conversation. Health is a third conversation that we can have. And culture is a fourth conversation we have. And then we can have a standalone conversation about the L, the love, the little things. We can have a standalone conversation about emotional connection, or the O.
Yeah.
We can have a standalone conversation about the V, which is victory, problem solving. And we can have a standalone conversation about eternity. Those are 8 conversations that Jennifer and I, and Joanna, you can share.
I'm just a guest today.
Yeah, I know. But those are 8 conversations that we'd love to have with you, and we will on these video blogs that come up.
And you know, Joanna, we'd love to have you as a guest again.
Well, thank you for having me today.
So, by the way, July 1st is Joanna's birthday, so you make sure that you...
Best day of the year.
It truly is.
Yeah, I'm celebrating 44 years on the planet, starting my 45th.
All right. So I'm Bryan Martin.
I'm Jennifer Martin.
And I'm Joanna Odabashian.
And this is Real Estate Love, our video blog that we do Facebook Live, and you can find us later on at Real Estate Love on our YouTube channel.
Have a great day.
Have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.